Hey everybody, welcome to another entry in the Hyrule Compendium. Today we're taking a look at a topic from Joe Sabo, or Sabo, or let me know how to pronounce that. Joe wanted us to talk about our hardest bosses in the Zelda series.
This one actually took me some time to think about. I don't know if some of these came to you right away or not.
Well, I had to think about it for a little bit because first I'm like, well, is my memory of some of them right or not? And then certain ones I've done so much that I don't consider them hard.
Right. That's a key right there.
Like, I did a little Google to kind of jog my memory, and one I saw people said a lot is Bongo Bongo.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't feel that way at all.
Right.
But I've also played that game a bajillion times.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. Like, I remember the first time I played Phantom Ganon in the Forest Temple. I died several times. I didn't know what to do. And a lot of these are, you literally don't know how to defeat them at first.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have a recollection of, yeah, I died over and over and over. But then it's like, oh, I figured it out. And now I will never die against that boss ever again. So Demise might be the final boss that I died maybe the most to any final boss in any Zelda game. And some people have no trouble with him. Maybe it's a lot of it is a rhythm thing, especially his first phase. Like now I can beat his first phase without getting hit fairly consistently. But then even his second phase, it's a lot of it is the timing with summoning the lightning on your sword and being able to do that back dodge at the perfect timing. I mean, it's a straightforward sword battle. Yet it was, I think, one of the more difficult bosses in the game, and to me, maybe the hardest final boss in the series.
I remember there was one marathon where we were trading off trying to face him, correct?
Yeah.
Like, 5 of us couldn't take him down.
Yeah. All of us had already beaten the game. So this was not like, this is our first time through. So even in our second and third time through, we haven't mastered him yet, but he was still difficult.
And Demise is kind of a thing where if you've beaten him once, you might not know fully like how you beat him.
Right.
Because it has a lot to do with the motion controls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can throw some things at the wall that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a couple times to like really retain that knowledge.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And it's not because of the like final boss fight necessarily. It's the whole lead up.
The multiple Dark Nuts you gotta fight.
You have to fight multiple Dark Nuts, and you fight Vati in like the wizard form, and then you have to go again and then fight 2 more times. What sucks is when you die, you have to go through the whole gauntlet again. So.
And that one kind of stands out because I think generally speaking, other than maybe like the Georg pair, the bosses in Minish Cap are not hard at all. Like the big choo-choos, they're not really hard. The giant Octorok, but then that one comes in, it's significantly more difficult than most of the other bosses. I would say if you are fighting Twinrova without the level 2 sword, it's impossible. I don't know anybody who's ever been able to beat one's throwing fire at you, and you have to ricochet the fire back to the ice. You can't aim, but you have to. And the Ganon battle is no joke either. Unless you are super powerful, if you've got the Master Sword or the Big Goron Sword, that is those 2 battles are, I think, 2 of the hardest in the whole series.
That actually makes me think some bosses that I was thinking about, I was like, well, it depends on how much prep you've had too.
Right. I have a few special, or honorable mentions.
Okay.
I have like a handful of them. So going back to Oracle of Seasons, the final boss in Oracle of Seasons, the base game, General Onyx, In particular, his dragon form. When you're jumping from hand to hand, then you have to hit his head, and then he swipes you across the ground. That is a hard battle. This might just be my memory, though, but I always felt that Malladus, the final boss in Spirit Tracks, was one of the harder bosses. I've had other people disagree with me on that one, though, so I want to know what people think. But my recollection is that one was hard. I remember dying several times. More recently, Thunderblight Ganon from Breath of the Wild gave me a lot of trouble.
That was one that I struggled with hardcore at first. But then I got into the rhythm of the way it zigzags at you.
Bam, bam, bam.
And I can take him out. Like, no problem, I would say, but no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think with Thunderblight Ganon, and this goes to say all of the blights, I would say, it depends on your inventory.
Yes.
What you have. Like, if you're fighting Waterblight Ganon with 0 arrows, he's hard, I think. If you're fighting Thunderblight, if you go to the Gerudo region first, and you only got 4 hearts, and you don't have many bomb arrows, or and you're just your basic sword or something, you're gonna struggle against them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those. It depends on the level of your how prepared you are.
Yeah, that goes along with what we were talking about. Another one of those for me, maybe another honorable mention, is Majora in Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
If you go in there, not even with Fierce Deity's Mask, if you go in there with like Chateau Romani and full arrows, it's not hard. But if you go in there a little underprepared, maybe you don't got
with like 7 hearts or something, and
yeah, it can be annoying.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it just depends on how you prep.
Yeah, Zelda's like only as hard as you make it out to be. Because if you're doing games almost like 100% and getting everything, and you're like not even fully prepared but mostly prepared, a lot of what we're considering hard are not very hard.
For me, there's a little bit of an element of the style of game too. Like the older games, I struggle with a little bit more.
Yeah. Because
it's not really the era I'm from. So like Ganon, for example, really a lot of bosses in A Link to the Past for me are hard in a fun way. But I thought of Blind was another one.
Okay.
That one is hard. Even when I'm prepared.
Well, that's a unique one where it doesn't really matter whether you've upgraded your sword. I think it still takes a set number of hits. So it's
the difficulty is fixed somewhat.
Yeah, a little bit. Mothula is another one in A Link to the Past that I always had trouble with as a kid.
Okay.
Especially
with the spikes. That's another one.
Yeah,
for
the moving
sure.
floor, the spikes. I mean, everything's going against you in that one.
Any of the bosses in that game where you need magic and you don't have magic too.
Yeah. One more honorable mention.
Okay.
It's kind of a cheap one though. Dark Link from Adventure of Link.
It depends on how you fight him.
You can just if you just kneel in the corner, crouch stab. He's another one that he takes a set amount of. It doesn't matter what your attack power is or your defense power.
Mm-hmm.
He does one. I think you do the same amount of damage regardless.
Oh, okay.
One heart or bar, I should say.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah,
because he could be considered the easiest boss at the same time.
Yeah, crouch stabbing is hard. I mean, without crouch stabbing, he's hard.
I'm gonna quote you on that. Crouch stabbing is hard.
Yep.
Those were our hardest bosses. Let us know what bosses you struggled with. Maybe we could do an easiest bosses in the future, because I was thinking of
Dark Link.
That's number one. Spoiler. Let us know other topics you'd like us to discuss. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.